Sinafa, take one. Hello, my name is Akinehi Monroe. I am 18 years old and I'm a waitress, but you could say, I guess, I'm an up-and-coming star, rising star. You may also know me as Rangi Marie from Shorten Street. I was with them for about 6 months, I think, the beginning of April last year to sometime this year, however 6 months is. It was pretty fun with them. It was my first experience on camera ever. I think it was pretty intense first experience because it was so fast paced. It's sort of like waitressing in a way where everything is constantly moving, and if we were behind, it was really crucial. So everything had to be up to date with Shorten Street, and because it's, you're filming 8 weeks in advance and you can't let any time slip. They have these weeks called catch up weeks. I can't remember what it's called. And it's like when everyone is constantly working from like 6 to 9. I think it's really crazy. I had to do a week like that once. It was probably one of my first weeks with them, and it was just insane. It was crazy, but it was fun. Good experience. While I was working on Shorten Street, I also was doing a 2-day sort of short film thing. And now I'm working on a theatre show, which is funny because I've always been a theatre kid. I grew up into that sort of world. I started, my first sort of theatre show was a musical, Annie, and then it sort of just carried on from then on. And if I sort of look back at it now, I'm like, wow, I never sort of expected myself to be on TV. I actually just expected myself to be going more into theatre and doing more bigger things with it. But yeah, this was just like a sort of step basically. And people say like, oh, is this your big break? But I don't see it as my big break. I don't think I'll ever see anything as my big break. I think a big break would just be me dying, pretty much. Like, that's my big break, right? Acting, waitressing, and my life, and basically me. There's a lot of struggles that happen with it, just because there's times, like I said before, there's times where I forget about myself. I'll be taking up so many opportunities here and there, doing so many other things that I'll forget about how I'm feeling. And so it's funny because there'll be times where I just sort of like will have a mental breakdown and I'm like, why? Shorten Street wasn't like anything I'd ever done before. I'd never worked on such a fast-paced sort of environment, and it was kind of good for once to be able to sort of step back and not do as much as I usually am doing, and not being so active as much as I am. But there were times where I wished I was like moving around heaps because you're working in a box, but other than that, it was a really good experience. A good sort of slow experience to slowly learn new things, but still fast. So the roles I've played in the past have been quite physically demanding, and one thing I really appreciate about that is because I dance as well, so I think dance has really played a big role in helping me sort of do that. I'm already an energetic person, so sort of going into theatre and having all these physical demandments, it was like, yeah, this is fun, but it was also, it does get tiring, your body does start to just go, please, no more. But when there's dancing sort of involved, it makes it so much more fun. Because in the roles, the physical demanding roles I've had, I've gotten to make my own sort of pieces, make my own physical things, and in most of those I'm dancing, or it's dancing about something. So whenever I do get in these sort of states of like, I'm doing way too much right now, or am I, it's not like a panic sense, but it's like panicking, you're panicking like, what am I doing? What's happening? There's too much going on, I don't want to do anything. in those moments, I dance, you know, because that's the only thing I sort of think that helps me from getting in these stupid kerfuffles in my brain. And so when I dance, I feel very free, I feel very open, I'm having fun. Because sometimes I forget to have fun, and that's the most important thing people forget, is to have fun. They get so caught up in all these other things that they forget to have just general fun. That's why I do acting and, you know, all this other stuff, is to have fun. But sometimes I'm like, damn, I really need to take care of myself more, because one day I'm just going to go, I don't want to do acting anymore because I'm going to point fingers at it, you know, and I don't want to do that. It's more, I should be